You guys have been asking for more gadgets and specializations ideas after my last video, so let's dive right in today's video. We'll be exploring some exciting new concepts that I think could make Season 6 even more dynamic. And as always, if you'd like to see these suggestions added to the game, don't forget to drop a like. It might just increase the chances of a developer seeing this video. Just a quick reminder, these ideas are all about adding fun and fresh mechanics that might also shake up the meta, but they're far from perfect. And just like with the weapons video, if you don't agree, feel free to drop a comment down below or share your own suggestions. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now let's get straight into it, starting with the light class. My goal is to give it a fun ability and gadget. With that in mind, I think a specialization that would fit the light class well is wall running. The idea is simple. While sprinting next to a wall, jumping toward it will automatically initiate a short duration wall run before you either jump off or transition to another surface. This passive ability allows for creative movement without requiring an activation button, but it will still have limited charges to prevent excessive use. Now, how many charges? I'm not sure. We could give it free charges just like with the evasive dash, but that might be too few for this ability. Honestly, you let me know. Now, talking about the gadget, I wanted to introduce something that fits with the light's evasive nature while still providing a new dynamic to the class. Introducing the Impact Repulsor, a device that upon activation pushes back anything within a small radius, whether it's enemies or objects. The repulsor creates an instant burst of force that gives light players an opportunity to reposition or disrupt their foes. I know what you're thinking, another gadget for the light to stop a steal? And yes, it could, but I would give the repulsor a short throw like the C4 or the breaching charges, as well as activation on impact so you can't prep it on a cash out. That way you still need direct line of sight and must be close to the cash out to stop a steal. Also, I would say that the knockback effect on enemies should be much lower than on yourself. So while you could use it to quickly reposition, against enemies it would serve as a slight knockback to move them out of power position. That's it for the light class. It's a lot, I know, but I wanted to make sure there was no confusion. Let me know in the comments what you think. Moving on to the medium class, I wanted a specialization that would reward precision while also giving the people what they want. Introducing the Recon Sniper. A sniper rifle with one shot that upon a successful hit marks the enemy squad and reveals them through walls for a brief duration. It would bring back recon senses, but in a format that actually requires skill, as you need to spot at least one opponent and hit them to get the full effect. That being said, I'd say the duration should be shorter than the recon dart's 30 seconds. Maybe half of that, maybe even less, since one hit highlights the full squad. So 15 to 10 seconds sounds reasonable. Now let's talk about the actual sniper part of the ability. How much damage should it deal? I was thinking it should be hit scan and deal 50 to the body and 100 to the head. I wouldn't make it deal more than that, as increasing the damage could lead to this ability being used solely for its damage output. I would love for this ability to come to the game since Recon Senses was a really fun spec, so please comment down below if you agree or not. Meantime, for the gadget, I wanted to come up with something that could provide more sustainability to the team, and luckily in a past World Tour event, we got exactly what I needed. So we might as well use that since we already saw it in action. Let me introduce the Healing Bomb. A throwable device that releases a healing smoke on impact, restoring health to allies within its small range. Unlike the Healing Beam, this device would focus on getting teammates back in the fight a little faster rather than fully healing them. It would heal a lot less than the Healing Beam, and just like it, you would still have one teammate out of the fight during the effect. While the Healing Beam can heal your teammates on the go, the Healing Bomb would essentially speed up the health regeneration, but the player would have to be stationary since the Healing Bomb releases its smoke in a small area. Also, if you get shot during the healing process, the effect stops. So, hopefully I was clear, but if I'm not, I'll be happy to clarify any doubts in the comments. Finally, moving on to the heavy class. But before we move on, we have a little guest today. So what would you like to see being added to the heavy class?
Okay, hear me out. What if Heavy gets a gadget that lets him ignite the ground around him, turning the entire battlefield into a flaming pit of despair? That way, I can finally ascend to my rightful place as the Lord of Hell and bask in their pathetic screams while they burn. What do you think?
Okay. Collab video coming up soon, stay tuned. Anyway, I wanted to give the heavy a specialization that encourages aggressive play and rewards getting eliminations. That's why I came up with the Blood Surge, an ability that heals the user on activation, only available after securing a kill. The Blood Surge would essentially start the health regeneration on activation, but if you get shot during the effect, it will stop. This means the ability shines when you can find an isolated enemy, so you can benefit from the full effect without worrying about being shot mid-ability. Now, would it be broken? Not exactly, since equipping it would replace the Mesh Shield, which is the strongest specialization for the heavy at the moment. Now, for the gadget, I wanted something that could provide more defensive utility while still being dynamic. Enter the Advancing Barrier, a half shield that moves forward upon placement, creating mobile cover as it advances. This would allow heavy players to push into fights with added protection while also giving their team a moving line of defense. The shield would have a limited duration and health pool, preventing it from being too overpowered. Also, the shield would be transparent like the dome shield, but you wouldn't be able to shoot through it. And for height, it would be exactly the same as a crouched heavy, meaning you wouldn't be able to use it to head glitch. It would cover you fully only when crouched and would move faster than your crouched movement speed, leaving you without cover if you stayed crouched for too long. Finally, it would be different from the barricade as it would be shorter, so the barricade wouldn't become obsolete just because of this new introduction. And there we go, that's it. We talked about every single gadget and ability. I tried to come up with gadgets that could fit the finals, but I know they're not perfect. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you want to see this gadget added, and with that being said, see you next time.
Now say hello to Mr. King. I got a kid to succeed. I'm pushing P, I put on my ass on TDMZ. Fortune riders, DMC. Put in your house like trigger tree. Recently we get a front and steep, but I'm flipping with you. Let's go. Now let's just take on the mud and I buy what I want, I just spend on these salads. Ride and I ride, bitch. 100 dash on pedal, bitch. I just stab me on your body, I'm like stabbing it. I just got these beasties. Put that to your creek, shoot you with your back, bitch. Yeah, till I miss a kid. Till I miss a kid. Say hello to Mr. King. I miss the king. I got a kid.